How much is this? Ooh, look over here. We didn't win the Ballon d'Or. It's fixed. Don't talk about what happened in El Clásico because we need to move on from that very quickly. We're not going to move on because it's the first time we've had Jules on since Kylian Mbappé absolutely had a shocker in his first Clasico of the season. Barcelona losing 4-0. Of course, Mbappé offside no less than 8 times in that game. He had chances in the first half. He did not look himself. Jules, obviously, this isn't all on Kylian Mbappé, but the focus is going to be on him because of everything that led up to his move to Real Madrid and what was expected of him. Yet, when it came up to the day, he fell short and then some.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he was so excited, so impatient to play the Clásico, the game really, maybe even more than but overall, more than the offside, because I think on a night like that, it can happen against a team that has caught everybody offside more than anybody else in Europe. I mean, I think Barcelona have 75 offside this season. The second best is Brighton, I believe, 33 or 35, something like that. So he's not the first one and he's not the last one. But I think the worst for me is the chances where he's onside and that he misses. And he's got 2. The one that Vinicius gives him on the outside of his foot and he's one-on-one with Iñaki Peña and he misses. And the one that Modric gives him a little bit later and again, he misses that one. And those really, because the offside, I think, yeah, okay, he should have done better, should have bent his run a bit more, maybe gone diagonally a bit more than vertically. Again, the passes, maybe not always great, but it's the one where he's onside that really a player like him should bury in a game like that when he knows how much people expect from him and how much his own expectations are, really. And those 2 big misses are the ones, really.
Is Jan, being a world-class player, though, being able to deal with those emotions?
Is Jan a world-class player or Kylian? You meant Kylian, yeah?
Yes, I'm sorry, Jan. I should have made that distinction. How foolish of me.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for the people watching that to say that. Now, I think that the analysis from Jules is good there because I think some of these 3-4 offsides, I think, was a lack of understanding that he hasn't built up that with his players. We talk a lot about Haaland, who never goes in offside, but it's also the players he got around him that find the timing of his passes. I think that sometimes we do forget that these superstars, they are not superhumans. And I think that you saw a player who wanted to do too much in this game. A couple of the offsides was a bit lazy. That was a...
The boys have been awfully nice on Mr. Mbappe, haven't
We
they?
know Jules, and Jan sees himself as an Mbappe.
I mean, the problem, you can't have it all ways. You know, you can't get paid 100 million a year and all the other stuff. And he's not a kid. You know, this is not an inexperienced player. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden it's like, well, he's not quite in tune with his teammates. I mean, come on. There was too many of them that were just dumb. Just dumb. Let's say it how it was. It's dumb. And the only way he's going to get over this is if he's humble enough to actually sit down and go through all the times he was offside and then go on the training field with somebody and try and do a little bit of work. Maybe for 5-10 minutes a day for a period. Just so that the next time he knows. Is he going to be humble enough to do that? Because that's what a proper professional would do. Because, yes, we can say, oh, they played a great high line. I personally don't think the high line was particularly great. I just think Mbappe was really dumb. And he shouldn't be doing that. He's supposed to be too good to be doing dumb things like this on 8 different occasions. So let's see if he's humble enough to go back to the basics, because that's what you do. When you make so many mistakes as a football player, you go back to the basics and then you go from there. Will he do it? That's the question.
That's 4 dumbs I counted, Jules, in that response.
5.
Yeah, that was a lot of them. Still less than the offside. So, Stevie should have gone to 8 dumbs for the 8 offside, I guess. Somebody said to me, which I know the boys are not going to buy it, and I'm not even sure I'll buy it myself, but hey, Kylian is my boy. Playing in number 9 that way, like pure number 9 with, Vini was not 5, because he was a 4-4-2 really with Bellingham and Camavinga both wides. And to make those runs when he's been so used to starting from the left-hand side, and even the runs that he would make from there were obviously not vertical because there was nothing for him vertically, but diagonally and then bending the runs to not be offside. Whereas those runs on Saturday in the Clásico were very much as a number 9 position, so where Jan was playing, for example, and the goal was in front of you. And that maybe this is something that he has to work as well as a centre forward now, more than where he played before on the left-hand side for 80% of his career so far. Now this is Vinicius' position. So now he also needs to work with him as a centre forward, so receiving the ball with his back to goal, linking up the play, all those things that really didn't do much before. Even with France, he tends to drift on the left and that's it, and people then move and adapt to him. Now this is different, and maybe this is part of the reason, but again, I'm not sure I buy that. At that level, how good he is. I'm just saying what I was
Stevie's
told,
violin.
I didn't realise Jules could play the violin.
We had Patrick Clivert on the show who said very similar things actually to what you just uttered, Jules. Jan, are you buying any of this?
No. No, okay, do I do that?
There you go. I'll get your violin out as well.
No, I understand it. My advantage as a striker was that I wasn't quick enough to go in offside, so I never went in offside. But it's a point. I understand it's a point, but sometimes for a striker, even a number 9, you tend not to be so much in the middle. I do understand that, but this is one of the best players in the world. You should adjust. And Stevie said dumb, but what I like most of it is that this is done on the training ground, the understanding of the runs, how you take the advantage of the players you play with. You have to have kind of deals with them. You have to sit down with them. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. And that is the basic stuff that you do in sport. Will Ancelotti do it? Yeah, of course he will. But at least, hopefully they spent the time that they didn't go to Paris better, maybe on the training ground.
Yeah, let me ask you this, just moving on from Kylian Mbappé slightly. Obviously, it's been a brilliant week for Hansy Flick, the win against Bayern Munich and then the victory against Real Madrid. Have they been lucky in the fact that in that first half, it could have been a very different scoreline against Bayern as it could have been against Real Madrid?
Was it Nick Faldo who said, how funny it is, the more I train, the more luck I have. So I don't think of luck. I think that Barcelona has shown this season, Hansy Flick has shown this season that he can go into a team and make them winners. He did the same thing with Bayern Munich.
Here's my point, Jan, on that. We've just slated Kylian Mbappé, dumb is how Stevie described it. So if he was less dumb, more intelligent, and timed his runs better, then Real Madrid are 3-0 up at half-time, and we are slating Hansi Flick and his tactics and being so open at the Bernabeu, aren't we? So isn't that more about Real Madrid being poor than Barcelona being a genius at the back?
But if the headline of this program was if, we wouldn't even talk about Amorim, because then Manchester United would be 6-0 up against West Ham after first half. That is one thing. But secondly,
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I think that's very different, isn't it?
No, okay, but it may be a cheap point. But I think that what you see when you see these 8 offsides, I mean, the word of this show is dumb. I'm not saying it's dumb, but that was not good by Mbappé. But you're right. But you always see that. But it's not like Barcelona just suddenly turned up and made one good game. They've been steady Eddie, and football is like that. There is a lot of chances. If Muani did that one against the goalkeeper, Solidus, that I had to bring it up, then they would have won the World Cup. That is just how it is. And I'm not having that. Real Madrid was bad, but they were bad also because Barcelona in this season so far and this day were very good.
Yeah, there's only one problem I have with the Barcelona line that is stopping me from agreeing with the fact that they got so many offsides. They must be doing something right. The only problem I have with it is that when you get yourself in a situation where if somebody is in the wrong spot, you are done.
Right.
That is a problem. That sounds more to me like a gamble than just being fantastic. You know, personally, I think you can hold a high line, but be in a position where if it goes wrong, you can get some sort of recovery. The way they do it, it's either 8 offsides or you're in trouble, because that's how it could have easily gone.
Your boy Haaland would destroy them, wouldn't they, Jan?
Yeah, on the day these runs, he would have done better. But I think it's interesting what Steve is saying there, because isn't that a game of pluses and minuses? You try. That is the part of the thing that you gamble. You are doing this high line because you hope to be rewarded, and then you have to risk. And I'm with you. A type of Haaland, I'm not saying that's just because he's a Norwegian, but just because he's a striker who never goes in offside. And that's it. But Stevie, I think that is a part of some of these coaches' strategy, is to play that high line. They cannot take that into account, that they play with high risk pressure. Don't you think so?
Well, listen, all you've got to do is look at the way teams try and play out from the back. So it seems like coaches today are absolutely gambling, because playing out from the back, the way some of these teams do it, is a gamble. And as I said, when you're playing a line that gives you absolutely no room for error at all, that's also a gamble. So maybe he knows that and just doesn't care. He's going along with it.
Like to add anything, Shaq?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Jules, would you like to add anything?
No, I just think the two defeats they suffered this season, the Monaco one where they were down to 10, to be fair, he kept playing the same way and it got done, and the Osasuna one where he did rotate, especially his front three, played the same and got done in that game. And I think there will be games where they will be beaten, for sure, but others where, like Jan just said, it's the risk and reward, really, and I think mostly so far the rewards have been much better than the risk.
Jan, I haven't spoken to you for a long time. Just quick, what was the reaction in Germany after that win for Barca, so convincing in the end against Bayern?
Well, first of all, very proud of Hansy Flick. They're taking off all his record, what he did for Bayern, winning 7 games. And it's also, remember, for Hansy Flick, the last time I saw him in a hotel in Manchester. We were both training, as big bodybuilders do. And I asked him, what are you doing here? And he was traveling around.
What were you training for, Jan?
Training for the Olympics. So I asked him, what are you doing? And he was on a study trip in England. And I think that for Hansi Flick, and you're talking about Germany, is to win a bit credit back after what he did with Germany. So when you win games like this, winning the El Clasico, that is big in Germany as well. So now they start to finding reasons why he did bad with Germany. Let's put it that way.
But of course, before El Clasico, you go and beat your old team Bayern Munich 4-1 as well, yeah?
Absolutely, and I think that made the Bayern camp saying maybe we weren't that bad, because they beat Real Madrid as well. I guess we will have another episode where we discuss Company, talking about risk and reward. I mean, he is the master of that. And at the moment,
I don't think he's quite mastered it yet, Jan.
In the Bundesliga, he's the master of it. But when he's playing good teams, he's struggling. I said before the season, I'm skeptical about Company, how long he will last at Bayern, and I stick to my guns.
Well,